Hey there, and welcome back to Life 3030. This is another Dan Markel murder update. It's a little bit of fun. Again, not making ever fun of the victim, the victim's family. This is something that's it's a couple of things that are interesting to me. This might not be interesting to you, but I'd say stay with me on this. I promise this will be worth a ride. And points to followers of the Dan Markel murder trials if you recognise where the background of this slide is from. I'm sure those who watch the trial live would recognise this. Now, this is a video that I'm going to call What I Think of When People Call Wendi Adelson WA on Social Media. What am I talking about? Well, this is a screenshot from Reddit just from the other day. You can see it's got things like WA fleeing, or now that the tapes are out, anyone think WA is even more likely to get arrested? How likely is WA to abscond to another country with her sons? Interesting questions people always ask about Wendi Adelson, but this is focusing on the fact that people call her WA. Now, I'm in the Justice for Dan Australian chapter. Is this a real thing? I don't know. But if you watch Carl Steinberg's recent video, he was giving a shout out to people that live in Melbourne or Sydney, although he said Melbourne with his American accent. That's not how we say it, mate, but thank you for giving us a shout out. And yeah, so there are a lot of us followers here. And yeah, I'm sure that some of the Aussie followers would kind of get a little bit of a chuckle at this. Well, I'm hoping so. Now, Australia is a sporting nation. As you can see, this is a screenshot from a website called mccrindle.com.au. And as you can see that we've got 80% of our population think that sports is like part of our psyche. It's like really important to us. Now, one sport that I'm just going to focus on in this one is the sport of netball. I know that people in the USA, people outside of the Commonwealth countries, might not be familiar with netball, but this is a sport that is primarily played by girls and young women and women of all ages. And as you can see in this photo down the bottom left-hand side, men are getting involved with it as well. I myself have coached. I just recently coached for 2 years for my stepdaughter's side, and years ago I coached the partners team as well. And yeah, so I have a love of the game, even though a lot of people will tell you that men shouldn't follow netball, but it is a great sport. Anyway, we have close to 1 million participants out of a population that was at the time maybe over 26 million, almost 1 million of them. So let's say 1 in 25, 1 in 26 people play netball. And this was during July 2021 and June 2022, which was a little bit of COVID period. So people were still getting out there when we could and playing netball. Now, this this slide here, you can see there's 6 photos. These are the teams that won the last 6 major world events in netball. And as you can see, all of them are Australian. They are the current title holders and champions of the 2022 Commonwealth Games, 2023 World Netball Championships, also known as the International Netball Federation's Netball World Cup. Excuse me. The 2023 Constellation Cup, the 2023 Netball Quad Series, the 2023 Fast 5 Netball World Series, and the 2024 Netball Nations Cup. This is a netball court up on the top left-hand side. You can see we have 7 positions in this game. The 7 positions are goal shooter, goal attack, wing attack, centre, wing defence, goalkeeper. Now, unlike basketball, where the 5 players can go anywhere on the court, you can see on the right-hand side, these are the areas that are the zones that are unique to the player, and how the umpires, they keep tab on it. As you can see here, the players, they actually wear their positions on, like they normally, other sports will wear the numbers on there, but these players wear their positions, so that way the umpires, they can say, well, is the goalkeeper where they're supposed to be? Is the centre where they're supposed to be? Now, as you can see in this photo, there are 2 goalkeepers. No, there are not 2 goalkeepers in the game. they're just two players that so one of them would have been the substitute for the other one. But what has this all got to do with the Dan Markel murders? Well, my question is, which netball position would best suit the co-conspirators and perpetrators of the murder of Dan Markel? Can't even read my own titles, but anyway. So you got to excuse me. Sorry, I'm on my third cold for the year. Yes, we may be in the middle of our winter. Sorry, our summer. Sorry, but it's been one of those seasons where everyone's just getting a cold. Now, of course, because I said at the top of this that when I hear WA, I think of Wendi Adelson, and so the position. And so you'd be saying, all right, well, you're going to obviously stick her in that WA position, aren't you? Well, my friends, you are wrong. So let's look at the positions. We're going to be starting off with Sigfredo. And if anyone who does know netball knows that you always start off by naming the person in this position. He's the goal shooter, also simply known as the shooter. I mean, that speaks for itself. Sigfredo, as much as you deny it, you are the shooter. Harvey. What's Harvey's position going to be? Well, if you know anything about netball, if you've ever coached, if you've ever played, you'll know wing defense is often where you put your weakest player. And I think Harvey in this whole, in the seven of them, he is the weakest. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Little Katie. Catherine Magbanua, sorry. I'm sounding like Joel from SDS here. How do you say her name again? Anyway, my mother is a psychologist, so forget about everything I just said. Anyway, buy my book as well. I haven't got a book, but anyway, buy his book. Buy any book. Buy Ruth Markel's book. By the way, I've just finished reading that. More on that to come very shortly. I'll be talking about that maybe in another video. But Katie, what are we going to put her in? What position? She's a wing attack, of course. The wing attack is the middle person who gets the ball, or information in her case, to the shooter. Maybe not, you don't have to use a diaper bag or a nappy bag, as we'd call it in Australia, when you're on the netball court. But, and you obviously don't play with a sealed envelope. I'm sure she peeked. She would have to have peeked. She would know. Sorry, I'm getting off track. No, she would have to have known. I'm not off track. Katie, you knew. Donna. I'm not going to do as good as Katie Cool Lady with that, or even Roberta Glass with their awesome New York Jewish lady accents. I don't do accents, I'm afraid. The only accent I can really do good at the moment is an Aussie with a head cold, and I'm not even doing really good at that. Anyway, Donna, what position are we going to put her in? Goal attack, of course. I mean, it was her goal to go on the attack, so that is her position. Luis Rivera, what are we going to put him in? Now, I guess you could say, well, I would have thought he would have been the goal attack because he would have been supporting the shooter, My partner actually said maybe put him at the wing attack because he was the wingman, but I am putting him as the goalkeeper. Or in his case, the only person that kept telling the truth. Yes, it's a little play on words, and I needed to stick him somewhere. And trust me, the other positions were better suited to Donna and to Katie. So Charlie, what position are we going to put you in? Goal defense. He was the one that made up the worst defense of all time. It is laughable. Not that I'm saying that goal defenders in netball are terrible defenders. There are some absolutely brilliant defenders out there. But he was way off target with his defense. And of course, that leaves us with one position. Wendi Adelson. She's the center. As Krista Koss said, he suggested in Katie's trial, Wendi was the one, she was the center of all of this. Yes, Wendi, look at that. Look at that face. Just, you're guilty. Looking forward to you being charged. I'm hoping that when you do get charged, look, I'll be on the plane to Tallahassee. That's it. I'm already booking. I'm going to get my visa. Going to maybe go to Disney World for a little bit of time, wrestle with an alligator, then I'll watch your smug face as you have to get up there. And this time, if you take the stand without any immunity, and they'll say you're guilty. You are guilty as. You're the center of all of this. And yes, looking forward to when they arrest you. Anyway, guys, it was just a little bit of fun. As I said, no disrespect to Dan Markel in this, no disrespect to the family. As I said, I just finished Ruth's book, absolutely fantastic. I'm gonna contact Katie Cool Lady about something to do with that. I'm sure she'll be happy to pass on some little bit of information to Ruth. But yeah, look, again, I normally don't say like and subscribe. I'm not going to say like and subscribe again. But, I'm never going to stop you from liking and subscribing. And yeah, take care. And I look forward to my next video. I've got a couple of good ones coming up. Sorry I haven't been able to do as many, but a little bit of fun. And we'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.